What's going on? How's everybody doing out there on this wonderful day? So, I have brought back this mold. I know I just shot this mold a couple weeks ago. It is the 7 1/4 inch swim bait from England AI. Awesome bait. I still am in the musky mode. Of course, I am also in the trout mode. I was telling you guys last week that they have trout stocking. I plan on going trout fishing tomorrow. But I still want to make a few more baits. And like I said, the bass, it's pretty much done for the fall / winter. I mean, our highs have been in the low 50s here lately, and we've been definitely dipping down into the low 30s at night and stuff. And I went fishing for bass last Saturday. I caught 7. I was cheating. I was at a pond, one of our favorite places to go. There's a hidden pond up in the woods that we go to, me and a buddy of mine, and nobody else fishes. And it's very hard to fish at. It's covered in the woods. You know, there's all kinds of bushes and trees around it. There's about 3 spots that we can get to actually make, I would say, kind of a cast. A lot of pitching, but yeah, I did catch 7. I caught 3 pretty good sized sunfish. Like I said, I wanted one more good day of bass fishing before, you know, late fall, early winter kind of sets in. So that brings us back. I still am trying to get my musky baits, you know, caught up. I want plenty of baits this fall, and definitely as the winter goes through and we start sneaking into maybe late winter, I definitely want to have a bunch of baits, you know, ready for catching muskie, because I really am determined to catch, I'm going to say, a lot of muskie this fall and, you know, winter stuff, which that is really hard to say because I know it's very hard to catch muskie, even though our rivers do have plenty of them in there. We'll see what happens. I hope one day that I can catch a muskie on film and put it on my YouTube channel. That's my goal. So, all right, back to the bait. So I got the swim bait out. We just shot this a couple weeks ago, but every time I get this mold out, I try to do something crazy. I try to do a bunch of detailing. I do capsule pours, skin pours. I paint on it. I dust on it. You know, I do all kinds of crazy stuff. I just want to keep it very simple. I'm going to do one detail on this. The top color of this bait, I want to fill in the head. So the lateral line and the belly line. Oh, let me back up. We're doing a 3-layer bait, which is a very easy bait to make when it comes to pour baits. We're going to do a belly, a lateral line, and a top. So back to what I was saying. I want the top color just to cover up back to the gill plate and make a head, and my lateral line and belly color will sneak in behind that. I think that's a very good detail. It's very easy, and it makes your baits look really good. So the color I'm going to do with this bait, I'm thinking of a Sexy Shad. Yes. I think a Sexy Shad will be a very good bait to put out there, and hopefully maybe some fish, hopefully a muskie, will bite this bait. When it comes to Sexy Shad, I know there's all kinds of different ways you can make it. I really want these colors to be kind of thick. I really don't want to see through this bait because I am not putting any glitter in this bait whatsoever. I am going to put some Holoshift in one of the colors. Maybe you can count that as glitter, but as far as like regular glitter that I use, like, you know, every week and stuff, none of that's going on. We're just going to keep this a nice, bright, Sexy Shad color. So on the belly color, I'm just going to do a white, but I am going to spike that white with Snow Shine. Both colors are from Dead on Plastic. I am pulled down, so I know you can go with yellows, you can go with chartreuse, you can mix them both together. I want a very bright chartreuse lateral line, and this is where I'm going to put some Holoshift. I'm going to put some San Andres in that chartreuse lateral line to kind of make it pop. I pulled Dead on Plastic for that. All colors are Dead on Plastic because I really don't want any of these colors to bleed together. And as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think all or at least most of Dead on Plastic's colors do not bleed. So on the blue side, I have pulled down its Science color, and I'm definitely going to spike it with some regular blue, kind of make like a dark, I won't want to say a dark blue, but a really thick blue. Let's go with that. So, but that is going to be our color. We're going to shoot the 7 1/4 inch mold. We're going to do a 3-layer bait. Should be very easy. I'm going to show me making all the colors. I'm going to do the blue last because when I get to the blue, once we get it stirred up, I will definitely show you that little detail I do on the head to make our baits pop. Got the plastic out right here. Let's get it in the microwave and let's start making our belly color. All right, everybody, we have got our belly color finished here. Look at that. We got 15 drops of Snow Shine and 15 drops of white, which gave us this really, really good color for our belly. So now we are going to move on to the chartreuse color. All right, everybody, I have made our chartreuse really thick. I've got 30 drops in there. So, you know, usually sometimes you want a thick chartreuse color, you do 60 drops in a cup. So we're doing 30 in that one. And then I'm going to take some of this San Andres. that I'm running really low on. We're going to get a little bit more. That was not quite a 1/32 of a teaspoon. This will give us a little bit of flash in there. You'll be able to see that color pop. Alright, spin that in there. See how I said spin that in there? I like it. And there we go. Watch this. See that? Oh, yes. That'll work. There is our lateral line, and now we're going to make our blue. All right, everybody, I just did 25 drops of this It's Science blue from Dead on Plastic, and I put 3 drops of Dead on Plastic's regular blue, and I'm going to put 2 more drops to darken it up just a little bit. So 25 on that and 5 on the regular blue, and a half a cup. It gives us this really deep looking blue. I will take that. So I was doing a little bench test right there, but I think we're good to go. All right, baby, so I got the mold back up here. I put this on the hot plate for like just a few minutes just to get it warm to the touch. So I can put my arm on it, it's fine. I want to pour the head. So here's that one detail I was talking about. So we're just going to pour this in the head. Let it sit there for a second and slowly dump it out, because I want a pretty good layer there. Same thing on the other one here. I'm going to start over here. That was a terrible pour at first, but get every section of it, let it sit there for just a second, let it build up, and then pour it out. And what that'll do is that'll hide our lateral line and our belly color. So I'm gonna let them sit up for a little bit, and I'm gonna pull all the stuff off of them. Actually, I could probably do this one. You guys know if you need to clean these up, you just push on this and just roll that off. Push on that, roll it off. That's what I was talking about by cleaning up. And there we go. We have a head for this bait. And since we did that one, this one's probably good to go too. So we'll push this one off. Look at that, rolls right off. Got a little booger right there I gotta get. There we go, got it. Went down into the hole there. And that one is ready too. So we're gonna clean up our spill right here, put this on the hot plate, start pouring this bait. All right, everybody, we have got our mold on the pancake griddle. Like I said, I use a pancake griddle. We're waiting for this mold to get hot. I can still touch it. I just put it on there. But when I can't touch it, that's what I'm looking for. That's when I'll start re-melting up my plastic, re-vacuum it, and we'll start pouring this bait. Like I said, it's just a pancake griddle I got from Walmart. I would say they range between $20 to $25. I've got the temperature on this one for 200. There are different styles of pancake griddles out there, so you may have to play around with your temperatures. And certain molds require different temperature. This is a bigger mold, so I need to get this up to temperature. So when I pour my layers in there and I cook it a little bit afterwards, they will adhere together and I won't have any cold cracking. You know, I don't want to throw this like 5 times in the water and it comes back and the belly's hanging off of it. You know what I mean? So I've got this on the hot plate. It is starting to get up to temperature. That is getting a little difficult to touch. We should be ready here in a few minutes. I'm going to start re-cooking the plastic and I'll meet you back here to pour the belly. All right, everybody, we are at 330 degrees. So when you pour the belly, I'm going to go up to the hook slot, to the top of the hook slot, nice and slow. I'm going to come back to the head, let it fill up. Nice and even. Did I say I was at 330 degrees? Boom. And right there. And you can take your time. Like I said, I have not even started cooking my chartreuse yet. So I'm going to let that sit in there while I cook my chartreuse and re-vacuum it out and get it the temperature perfect. This is just going to level out nice and pretty and make our belly color. All right, everybody, our chartreuse is up to temperature. We're going to pour our lateral line. I want it to go up into the head first. I'm just going back with it. think that will be thick enough. And I'm going to drop a little bit in the tail here. Just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to cook our blue, vacuum it, and get it ready. And like I said, that lateral line is just going to level out there, and then our chartreuse tail is going to level out, and then the blue is going to come in and tie it all together. All right, everybody, we are lucking out today. This temperature is up to 330, just like the other ones, and we are going to top this off. Now this one's going to be a long pour. This is the big one. I'm going to go get this tail here. Yep, still pouring. That's why I usually skip over this, but I want you guys to see me pour this whole bait. Oh, we got a little shaky there. We'll fill this tail up. Nice and smooth. Come back. We're going to call that good. Oh, when we're dripping the tail there. Perfect. Perfect. And then you guys know what this is. This is a plumber's torch. I'm just going to take this, and all I do is just go over like this. That just knocks any bubbles off that just formed. Don't put it on for too long. And then we are going to bump this up to 250 degrees and put a timer on for 10 minutes. And I'll see you guys in a while, because after it's done cooking, it has to cool down for, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. So see you in a little while. All right, everybody, let's take a look at our Sexy Shad here. See how it came out. All right, we'll push on that. Oh yeah, there we go. Check that out. And our tail came out perfect. Oh, that's cool. Let's get that out of there. There we go. Look at that. That louder line came out perfect. You can make it out a little bit in the head there, but I think we'll be just fine. And look at our tail. Perfect. See that? Holoshift in that. That should catch their attention. See if we can see it up in there. Oh yeah, we can see it. And you can also see the snow shine in there. And then this good old, I'm going to call it a pearl blue, because I don't know what's in that. It's science blue, but it makes a really good color there. Heck yeah. Also, if you notice, there's a mold sitting right here. We got a bonus mold here. So the reason I did not do this mold with the first one is you actually do this one upside down. This is the Epic 6-inch sucker from Pout Bait Molds. So as you can see, the white's on the bottom. So this mold, you actually pour the top color first. So we're gonna open this one up. This one's still a little warm, but we're gonna see if we can get it apart. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. Oh yeah, check that out. That's awesome. Heck yeah, I did the same thing where I poured the blue head first. Take out that hook slot. Look at that epic sucker. That is so cool. That came out perfect. You can make out the lateral line a little bit in the head there, but I will take that. Nice white belly. Heck yeah. Put that one right there. That is so cool. I really dig that. Let's get some eyes on them and I'll be right back. All right, buddy, I got eyes on these. These look awesome. With the Epic Sucker, it's a 6mm eye. And one with the gold. I think it's in line with our chartreuse line there. It looks pretty awesome. Check out that tail. That looks amazing. Who knew a Sexy Shad would look good as a sucker bait? That is cool as can be. And then I went with a more realistic eye. It's got some gold, it's got some reds in it. I think it looks really good on our Sexy Shad swim bait here. Heck yeah. Those both came out amazing. Look at all that Holoshift in there. And the snow shine. And of course our tail. That's a really close up. And then you get more of a chartreuse tail on this one because this mold is kind of weird to layer it up, but I layered it up pretty good. I think it's pretty cool how this fin turned blue and this fin turned chartreuse. And then we tied it all together with white fins on the bottom there. It's a very detailed bait, I will say that. Or mold, I mean. Yes, I dig those. Those came out awesome. All right, everybody, there you have it. Our Sexy Shad baits are made. They came out looking awesome. Here they are again. If these look a little bit more flimsier than usual, I usually shoot both of these baits in a harder plastic. I usually do it in dead-on plastics crawl and tube. I happen to be out of that at the moment, and I forgot to order some last week, but I still wanted to make these baits. So I just backed up and I did it in their medium blend, which is swim bait, jerk bait, which that is why they're kind of a little flimsier. They will cure up a little bit. I don't think really the swim bait that big of a difference. I can tell it droops a little bit, but I think they'll be fine. They just probably won't handle too many slams through, like, you know, rocks and other debris, or even a good hit from a fish like a muskie or a big bass or something like that. So all right, that is going to do it for this one. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also give this video a like, give it a share, and leave me a comment down below. What did you think of our version, or my version of Sexy Shad in a big swim bait or an epic sucker? I think they both came out looking pretty sweet, if I do say so myself, but I always say that about my baits. So I'm going to start cleaning up my mess here, but before we go, I'm going to let you guys take another look at these baits.